Right, so I guess we talk about Klopp at the moment, because we're going to get into talk about Alonso, and we will move to that a little bit later on in the stream. But news broke a little bit earlier on today about the German FA perhaps having an eye on Jurgen Klopp as their next manager. This is what was said in Bild. They said the German national team is hoping that they could lure Jurgen Klopp into work on March 2025 to lead the country into the 2026 World Cup, thus allowing him a 10-month break following his exit from Liverpool. Now, obviously, I can't speak for everybody, but it would certainly be a lot better for me to see Jurgen managing the German national team than walking into become another club's manager. And if he gets a 10-month break, look, who's going to be pedantic over a couple of months out, So I'd have every understanding if that was the case. If you're going to have a 10-month break and then ended up managing the German national team, yeah, I'd have no issues with that, and I would suspect most of you guys wouldn't either. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month, and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. Certainly a lot better than some of the other stories we started to see that were linking with Barcelona and other clubs. At least this one, yeah, I think it makes some sense. Said, I could see Klopp in Madrid when Carlo Ancelotti leaves them. Also, would you take De Zerbi, the Brighton manager, if things went wrong with Xabi? So, I guess I disagree with you on the Klopp thing. But, you're not the first person to say that, and I'm sure you won't be the last. For me, I actually think if Klopp did end up in Madrid, it would be in the other Madrid club. I think it's more of a fit for Jurgen than the likes of a Real Madrid, who I don't think really are appealing to Klopp from a lot of aspects. Obviously, they're a great club. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll see him at the Santiago Bernabeu. And the second part of it, would I take De Zerbi? So coach-wise, really good player, or really good coach, excuse me. But there's just something about Roberto De Zerbi that just never felt like a good fit for Liverpool. It's not to do with his calibre as a coach, because I think he is a really good coach, a very innovative coach, but just doesn't strike me as a Liverpool manager. And maybe it's different for other clubs, but I feel like for us, and I guess maybe for Manchester United, you have to be a certain presence. You have to have a certain outlook to be Liverpool manager, in my humble opinion. So, no, I wouldn't have De Zerbi. And I guess that leads us into a really good conversation that I'd like to have. And that is one that we started in our Discord group before the live show. How are you feeling about the managerial search at the minute? Because obviously there's a lot of words being written, a lot of he said, she said, a lot of conjecture. But as of right now, I guess we're no clearer as to who the next manager will be. We'll all have our own wants, our own preferences. My own, Alonso, Amarim, they'd be my top two. But I guess what I want to say is, I feel like we need to be a bit more relaxed about this situation. I know, coming from me, the irony. I think people want to believe the worst about us all the time. I see you could find 5 good posts about Liverpool and the managerial search, but it would be the 5 negative posts that seem to be the ones that are highlighted by fans. And I don't know what it is, if it's a sense of inferiority, if it's a sense of nervousness, if it's a sense of, I don't know, but sometimes I want people to just be a bit more optimistic, a bit more stern in their belief that we'll get this right, we'll get the right fit. Nobody is going to be Jurgen, whether that's Xabi, Ruben Amorim, or anybody else. So, yes, the next manager, when they come in, is going to be new, different, but as much as I'm always wary about FSG and player signings, and look, we all have our own thoughts on how they've conducted transfer business, I feel like they'll get the appointment right. I do. I really, really feel like they will get it right and they're doing the right things. And I say this as somebody who isn't an FSG fan for the way they conduct their business at the club all the time. Sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. But I think they'll get this right. And look, we'll read out more stuff and we'll talk about who gets the job, who doesn't get the job, who's writing what, who's saying what. But ultimately right now, whether you want to believe the stuff saying he's leaning to Bayern or Bayern are making a big push, we haven't heard from him. And we haven't heard from our club. Don't believe all the catastrophic stuff. Just wait and see how it plays out. And then we'll have the discussion about if it's the right appointment, not the right appointment. Did we shit the bed? Did we lose out on Alonso? Did we do this wrong, do that wrong? Right now, we're just being quiet. And quiet isn't always a bad thing. In fact, in this scenario, I find the public desperation from Bayern Munich is more telling, in my opinion. I mean, let's look at what Jay Burt of The Telegraph said. So this has been posted to say, Bayern Munich have stolen a march on Liverpool in the race to shine Xabi Alonso and are ahead in the race. Bayern are now increasingly confident they have the advantage. Now, seriously, how can they know this? It's a simple question. How can Bayern know that they're ahead? Because we haven't had a conversation between Bayern Munich and Xabi Alonso. That was confirmed yesterday by Leverkusen, by Bayern, by his agent and by a couple of other journalists. Bayern Munich are obviously going to be briefing that they really want Alonso, that they're going to give him the world to come there as manager. So I don't understand what we expect. Liverpool don't do their talking in the media. Let it play out. And I think we'll be happy when it happens. Because I don't see anything that gives an indication that Alonso has leaned in favour. I don't. I've yet to see one credible thing that makes me nervous about it. Not one. I feel like managers will feel too much pressure to fill Klopp's shoes. So, respectfully on that, again, just my opinion, I don't want a pussy in charge of Liverpool Football Club. If you're too scared to come in after Klopp, then you're not good enough. If you're too worried about failure, not good enough. If you have to be convinced to come to Liverpool Football Club, not good enough. You have to believe in yourself, back yourself, feel like it's almost your destiny, it's your birthright to come in and take this job. You are made for this job. And if you don't have that about you, you're not the right fit. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't want anyone doubting themselves. I don't want somebody to come in and go, it might not work after Klopp, but maybe if another manager comes in and gets sacked, I'll jump in the meantime. Sorry, not good enough. Not the right manager. Not the right mindset. Because I guarantee you one thing. When Jurgen Klopp took the job, which was a far more uphill task, he wouldn't have doubted himself for one goddamn minute. In fact, he came out and told us he was going to deliver titles. And he did. Would we want somebody who's second-guessing himself to come in? And again I'll say this, Alonso does not strike me as the type of man to doubt himself. He's won a World Cup. He's won a European Championship. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won everything. He's been around the highest levels of the game, coached and learned from some of the best coaches in the game, has gone in and proven himself at Leverkusen. He's not going to be shit in the bed. He's not going to be worried about it. And he'll also know one really important factor that I don't think a lot of people have spoke about too much, and that is, for us, for Liverpool, this might be a now or never for Alonso. It might not be, but it might be. Certainly far more so than I think the Bayern Munich situation. Because I promise you, he could come into Liverpool, fail, and Bayern would still want them. But would you say that the other way around? If he went to Bayern and failed, I don't think Liverpool take him. So if you don't want the job or you've any doubts about the job, grand. Pass. Move on to the next person. But until then, let's just wait and see what happens.